Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Victory IAS. My name is Prince Verma, and in this session we shall be talking about an important wildlife called turtles. So you must have heard of the terms called turtles and the tortoise. So although tortoise is sub part of turtles, just a second. So if you talk about tortoise, it is the subset of turtles. So broader category is turtle, but tortoise is part of the turtles. So this topic has been asked several times in the prelims examination. Expecting the same, we are going to discuss all the current developments that have happened with respect to this topic. But before that, let's talk about the difference between turtle and the tortoise. What exactly is the difference? So first thing that you should know, that turtle is a broad category. So if I talk about turtle and over here tortoise, so it is a broader set. Broader set means this encompasses tortoise. So tortoise is part or subset of turtles. So it means that all the tortoises are part of turtles, can be referred to as turtles, but vice versa is not true. Means that all the turtles are not tortoise, but all the tortoise are turtles. That is first thing. Second thing, turtles live in water. Their habitat is water. They may be into fresh water, they may be found into oceanic water, but their habitat is water, and so it means that they are aquatic. And talking about the tortoise, they are found on the land, they reside over the land, so they are terrestrial. They are terrestrial. Then talking about the structure that they assume, they are slim, heart shaped. So talking about the turtles, they are slim and heart shaped. So this is the shape and the structure of the turtles. But when it comes to tortoise, it is a round dome shaped. It is a round dome shaped. Since it is found in the water, turtles are found in the water, they have flippers, and this flipper is used for swimming purpose. And since tortoise are found over the land, they have sturdy legs that are used for walking over the land. So this is broadly the difference between the turtle and the tortoise. First thing, that tortoise is a subset of broader category called turtles. Now coming to a number of developments that have happened in the current affairs. So there was one news with respect to Leith soft cell. So this Leith soft cell, just a second. This Leith soft cell was seen in the newspaper. Let's see why it was seen in the newspaper, and then we'll come to the details of it. What are the important things that we should know for the prelims examination? So you should know that if you have seen my last video related to rhino, I discussed that in 2022, there was a COP19 of CITES that was held in Panama City. Panama City is in Panama. Panama City is the capital of country called Panama. Panama is a Central American country. So if you know North America, the country which connects North America and South America is the Panama country. So over there in Panama City, CITES ka COP19 was held, and there were several developments in COP19. I hope you know that CITES is Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. So this convention ensures that international trade of the species is done in a regulated manner, is done in a controlled manner, so that their protection, their conservation could be ensured. So CITES is an international body, international convention for the protection and the conservation of the different kind of species that we are trying to protect and conserve. And COP is the highest decision making body of CITES. So every 2 to 3 years they meet in the form of COP. COP is called Conference of Parties. So these Conference of Parties meet every 2 to 3 years, and a number of developments happen. So with respect to Leith soft cell, a development happened in COP19. What was the development? The India proposed to increase the protection of this turtle, and it was approved by the meeting. It was approved in this meeting. So basically, India proposed this turtle to be included in Appendix 1. India proposed that this turtle should be included in Appendix 1 of CITES. So you should know that CITES has 3 appendices. Appendix 1, Appendix 2, and Appendix 3. There are 3 appendices of CITES. Basically, in these appendices, a list of species is maintained, and accordingly, the degree of protection is given to those species. So in Appendix 1, there is highest degree of protection. So it maintains a list of the species which have highest degree of threat. Means that they are on the brink of extinction. They are highly threatened. So highly threatened ones are they are placed into Appendix 1, and they are given the highest degree of protection. Highest degree of protection means only for the scientific purpose, for the scientific research, and for the purpose of certain scientific research and conservation, they are internationally exported or imported. So their trade happens only for scientific and conservation purposes in Appendix 1. Otherwise, their trade is prohibited. So all those animals, all those species which are in Appendix 1, they are not commercially internationally traded. Now coming to Appendix 2. So Appendix 2 has the list of all those species which have relatively lesser degree of threat. So they require lesser degree of protection. So this Appendix 2, all those species which are part of Appendix 2, the international trade is allowed, but in a regulated manner. So in this, international trade is allowed, but in regulated manner. In Appendix 3, these are the species which have the least degree of threat. So, but in this category, all those animals, all those species are included on the request of a particular country. When a particular country makes a request that this species should be included in Appendix 3, then only that species is included into Appendix 3, and then the permits are needed between the importing and the exporting countries for the international trade of the species that are there in Appendix 3. So with respect to Leith soft cell, it was placed in Appendix 1 now. So its international trade, except for scientific purpose and the conservation purpose, is prohibited now. So this is the news that was seen. And then there is another news. India also proposed the induction of a freshwater Batagur Kachua. So this is also called red-crowned roofed turtle. So this was also included in Appendix 1. So basically, 2 turtles have been included in Appendix 1. Both are freshwater turtles. So let's talk about the details of it. Maybe there could be some question in the examination with respect to these topics. So first thing about the Leith soft shell turtle, it is a freshwater turtle. As I already told you that it is a freshwater turtle. It is found in the fresh water. Just a second. It is found in fresh water. It is found mainly in peninsular part of India. So it is endemic. It is endemic to peninsular part of India. So it is endemic over here. Endemic means majorly they are found in peninsular part of India. Then their IUCN status is critically endangered. IUCN status is critically endangered. So this is the species which is highly threatened, and that is why it was put into Appendix 1. Then under Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, it is under Schedule 4. It is under Schedule 4 where hunting and poaching is prohibited. And then, as I already said, it was in the news that it is to be included into Appendix 1 of CITES. Okay. Then coming to the next one. The red-crowned roofed turtle, which is also called Batagur kachua. So it is also referred to as Bengal turtle. First thing, it is also referred to as Bengal turtle. It is found in entire South Asia. It is endemic to South Asia. Then with respect to red-crowned roof turtle, the size of the females is bigger than the size of the males. The size and the weight is more of the females compared to the males. Then again, this is the turtle which is critically endangered under IUCN status. Then it is placed under Schedule 1 of WP Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So these are the important things that you should know, because if at all there would be question in the prelims examination, that has to be factual. So these facts you cannot afford to forget. So just make a note of these facts in point-wise manner, and the job would be done with respect to these turtles. Coming to the next news that we have, so related to again the turtles. So this is a red-eared slider turtle. So let's see the news. What was the news? So recent study has highlighted that invasive south red-eared slider turtle poses threat to Indian biodiversity. So the question comes up that why it is posing threat to Indian biodiversity. But before that, let's understand certain thing about this invasive species. So this red-eared slider turtle, okay, let me choose a page to write certain things. So this red-eared slider turtle, first thing, why red-eared? Because if you look at the picture, it is having red ear. Second thing, why slider? See, this turtle is native to North America. North America, especially if I can write Central America. That Mexico region, you know, that Gulf of Mexico region, it is native to that area. And then when it comes at the coast for basking purpose, they are piled on top of each other. So one turtle, then other turtle, then other turtle. So they are piled on top of each other. And when they see some kind of threat, some kind of predator, they immediately slide into the coast, into the water. And because of this sliding behavior, they are called slider turtle. So they are, first thing, they are native to Central America. That is the most important thing that we should know. Then coming to the other information about this. See, they are native to North America. And since they are native to North America, they should have been confined to North America, but there is very one important property. They have high tolerance zone. Their tolerance capacity is very high. Their tolerance range is very high. And because of high tolerance range, they can survive in varied climatic conditions. Because of high tolerance zone, they can survive in varied climatic zones. And because of this property, because of this behavior, they are traded internationally. These red-eared turtles, they are used as pets. So in India also they are used as pets. They are kept in the houses as pets. But you should also know that in India, turtles are prohibited. Turtles are prohibited to be kept as pet under WPA, Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. They are prohibited, but foreign turtles are allowed. The foreign turtles, they can be kept as pets. So this is a foreign turtle, so it can be kept as a pet. So that is why people are keeping this turtle as a pet. One important other property is that their breeding pattern is very fast. The breeding pattern of this turtle is significantly high compared to the other turtles. So since their breeding pattern is fast, so they multiply very fast, they reproduce very fast, and that is why wherever they are kept as pets, जहाँ भी उनको टैंक में या पॉन्ड में, wherever they are kept as pets, these numbers, the number of these turtles increase significantly because of the fast breeding pattern. So they reproduce very fast, and because of that, their numbers have increased significantly. And once their number increases, the owners of these pets, they leave those pets in the nearby water bodies. And those water bodies where they are left, they basically become invasive species. So in those water bodies where they are left, they become invasive. Invasive in the sense that they outcompete for food, for habitat. So the other turtles or other aquatic life that is found there in those water bodies, they have problem and their number is decreasing. They are not able to compete with this turtle, and that is why the biodiversity of Indian aquatic system is in threat because of these turtles. And this was the news that we have seen. So these are the important things from where a number of questions could be framed. Okay, then coming to the other turtle, all these things we have discussed. Then you should know that the turtles belong to order called Chelonia. Chelonia is the order that turtles belong to. It is also called Testudines. So this is the order that turtles belong to. Turtles are basically the reptiles, but they belong to this order. So there is another giant tortoise species which has become extinct. It had become extinct. But recently, some research have confirmed their finding. A species of this giant tortoise has been found, and so earlier they were extinct. They were last spotted in 1906, but recently they have been spotted again. So that is why this was the news. The important thing that you should know that they are found in Fernandina Island, and Fernandina Island is in Galapagos. So if you know, this is the continent called South America. This is where equator passes. Over here there is a country called Ecuador. Over here there is a country called Ecuador, and Ecuador has off its coast a number of islands over here, and this island group is called Galapagos. This Galapagos group of islands, where this giant tortoise species is endemic too, and earlier it has become extinct, now it has been re-spotted. So just remember this island. Also remember that through this island the equator passes. In fact, the equator almost bifurcates this island, and this island belongs to the country called Ecuador. So these are the important things that we should know with respect to the turtles and the tortoise. If you have any question, put it in the comment section. I'll take up in the next session. We'll have a discussion about that. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a great time.